Alright, what's going on, guys? Vinland Saga, episode 13, Child of a Hero. Let's do it!
I don't need your choice of voice to judge me. The one and only way I can and always seek.
So this episode starts off in a way I did not expect. I was expecting last week with episode 12 that Askeladd was going to meet his demise. The last episode was very methodical, slow-paced, a lot of exposition, and I thought especially with the Welsh people with the arrows on top of the cliffs that Askeladd was going to meet his demise just like Thor's met his demise. I thought it was going to be a little bit of reciprocation, what comes around goes around, but unfortunately we did not have that. Or maybe fortunately, who knows? If you like Askeladd, you want to see him live and you want to see his character continue to grow, this was a great episode, but a very conflicting episode at that. Now the reason is because Askeladd, to get out of the situation, he first tries to use Prince Canute as a sort of leverage chip. He tells Prince Canute, hey, threaten them a little bit, tell them you're gonna boil them alive or something, like really strike some fear in their hearts. And Prince Canute, he's a little pussy beta male. He can't do it. He just cowers behind his henchman, behind his right-hand man, his carrier. And that's that with him. So Askeladd's like, fuck! I'm gonna have to take care of this myself. I'm gonna have to use my Trump card here. And his Donald Trump card. But anyway, he decides to go and talk to the leader of the Welsh army, and he decides to strike a little deal. Now, to strike this deal, he has to reveal some inside information that we did not previously know about Askeladd. And right before he reveals the information, we go to Askeladd's right-hand man, and he's talking about how he doesn't really know much about Askeladd. He kind of knows a little bit, but Askeladd doesn't really divulge too much information about himself. So, they don't really know much about his history or, where he came from or if he's even really Danish. They think he's Danish, which is only half true. It turns out that Askeladd is half Danish, half Welsh. It turns out that his mother was taken from Denmark by his father, who was the famous fighter Artorius. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. But basically, he's a guy that actually did exist in history, and it's been suggested that he may be a potential historical basis for King Arthur. And they even do mention that in the episode as well. So it's possible that, well, it's not possible, it is the reality that Askeladd is the son of Artorius, which is basically like the King Arthur figurehead. There's sort of some debate as to whether Artorius actually did inspire King Arthur or not. Some historians think that is the case, some don't think that's the case. But for the purposes of this episode, we're going to accept that as the fact. It's a fictional series that's loosely based on real events, so if they say that that's the case, that's the world building that we're going to have to accept. I mean, that's just how it goes with fictional works. So he is the son of Artorius, and he's basically got royal blood running through his veins. And he basically tells the Welsh army leader, I hate Denmark. I hate the Danes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Prince Canute back to Denmark. I'm going to get a position of high power, and I'm going to use it to protect Wales. So you feel like, and after they strike this deal, you almost feel like Askeladd is going to do some sort of a double cross. Now they're traveling in the winter time, and it almost feels a bit ominous, like maybe Askeladd is going to set up his Viking mercenaries and he's going to kill most of them off. Say, hey, we ran into some trouble with England, they ambushed us, but I was able to survive with Prince Canute, and I brought him back alive, by the skin of my teeth. And the King of Denmark, will probably be so jubilated by that news that he'll believe him and he'll just say, you know what, that's amazing. Your heroic deeds deserve to be recognized. I'm going to make you, some sort of high-ranking official, some sort of high-ranking military officer with a lot of prestige and a lot of authority. And that's how Askeladd will protect Wales. And who knows, maybe he'll try to usurp the throne and take over Denmark himself. The guy seems very cunning. He seems like he has a very devious mindset. The fact that he was able to trick these Viking mercenaries for all these years, thinking that he was their leader and he was on their side, when in fact he's really just playing them for fools. He's only out for Wales. He's only out for the Welsh people. So his character has a lot of depth, and I said it before, and I'll say it again. He really is the bright spot of the series. He's the best character. He's the most explored, the most complex, the most devious, the most enigmatic. I mean, he's just a fantastic character, and he's so smart and cunning as well. We do get one little interaction between Thorfinn and Canute. Thorfinn basically just talks to Canute like he would talk to anyone else. He makes fun of Canute. He talks to him in a very brash, unsophisticated sort of manner. Doesn't really mind his P's and Q's. He's just kind of he kind of says what he wants when he wants, and Canute takes offense to this. And Canute basically tells Thorfinn off in his own way. I mean, and we do get a little more insight on Canute as well, which is sort of fascinating. It looks like he experienced some sort of a traumatic event as a child. He saw someone getting butchered or killed, so that's why he's very reserved and very scared. And he also feels the weight of the throne on his head, and that sort of inhibits him from making assertive decisions, because he feels like if he makes the wrong decision, it could result in catastrophe for his country and his people and himself. So he is a little more complex than we once thought. Of course, Thorfinn doesn't really give a shit. He just calls him Princess Canute, and he calls him a little bitch to his face, and Canute takes it! But wow, what a great episode, guys. We'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see if Askeladd really does betray the Viking mercenaries he's been with all these years, or if he'll meet his demise. I still feel like he will, because that would still provide an interesting little side twist for Thorfinn and his quest for revenge. But we'll have to see. So we'll leave it there for now, and I'll catch you on the flip side.